Right, Joan. So, the last time I think we ended, which I found fascinating, was on a gas lighter. Somebody who walks around lighting street
the lamp
lights.
lighter.
Yeah.
The lamp lighter.
Is that something you remember seeing?
Yes, on his bicycle with a big pole.
So how would he? Can you think how you would light a gas light? What?
Well, there must have been some flame of some sort at the end of this pole, but because the light, so he had his pole up to the light, and then the light came on.
Oh, okay. So I know you must have been only a child when, because
Yes.
when did that die out? The guy walking up the street turning gas lights on.
Oh, I never thought of, remembering it.
No, I'm just wondering whether that was like in the 40s and the 50s, or just the 40s, or.
I should say around just the 40s.
And
Because then, you see, there was more electricity. Yeah.
because there is a picture on the Bassetlaw Museum website of a gas lighter.
Is it?
Yeah, he's on a bike, and he's got like a ladder as well, a small ladder that he carries with him. I think I'll dig it out and have a look.
Yeah.
But you think they lit it from? They put something up in the air to light it.
Yeah, yeah.
So they must have turned the gas on at the light fittings.
Or something, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Must have been the way they'd they'd open the glass to light it.
And then have some sort of igniter.
Something to that, yeah.
And that was what you would walk down the street to at night, was it? Gas lights in the street?
The old, there's a song, The Old Lamplighter of Long, Long Ago.
Oh, really?
I've just remembered that.
Oh, okay. Wow. Just talking about music, Joan, just through your life, have you had an interest in music? I mean,
Yes, and Mum played the piano for my grandma, who used to sing, and Mum said they used to go to the Institute, which is near to Grove Street Methodist Church, and there is a photo of a building on Union Street that you put on, and I think that must be the Institute.
Oh, okay.
And in later years we went there to a social evening, I remember, but I can't remember the windows like that.
Okay, I think the photo I put on Union Street, I thought that was because we talked about little chapel.
The other was right at the dead end of Union Street.
Right. Okay.
The chapel,
okay.
which Blythe Model Dairies had, and then it was demolished. I think it's been demolished for the new
Arlington Way.
Arlington Way. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the picture I thought was of the chapel that I put on another video.
Yeah.
Probably was the Institute.
Yes, that's what I thought it.
Because I have, in one of the videos, I put a picture on of the Institute, but not the outside of it, but of people acting or singing or something. It was an example to show.
Yes, but she used to.
Oh, okay.
Mum used to play the piano, and I've got some sheet music. And there's one, Oh, for the Wings of a Dove, and I think my grandma must have sung that one.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But, there's other music throughout your life. I mean,
yes.
Are we saying that Elvis Presley and the Beatles or something like that? Is that just like, was you not interested in that? Or was...
Oh, yeah, yes, we were, yeah. But more in classical music I was.
Really?
Yes.
Have you got a favourite classical piece?
Well, I never thought.
Oh, we'll have to give that a bit of thought.
Quite a few that, I like.
I've got my absolute favourite is a piece by Chopin.
Yes.
Actually.
Oh, the Minute Waltz.
Is that a Chopin?
Yes.
I think mine's C sharp minor. I think it's just called that. I think.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Oh.
And of course, during the war, there was a Rifle Brigade band who used to play in the market square for special occasions like Salute the Soldier Week. And
can you remember anything like you and your sister going crazy about and both loving it and wanting to hear it all the time?
Not really.
No.
No, it was.
What about? You see, the oldest I can get to really is like the Beatles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Was that like?
Yeah. Oh, yes. But it was spoilt by all the screaming.
Oh.
Yeah. You couldn't hear them.
Oh, right. Okay.
No.
So you wasn't one of the screamers then?
No.
Well, going back to our discussion about the book Bassetlaw, what was it?
Life in Wartime Bassetlaw.
Yeah, there's a little bit more. There's a little bit more because you've had your VE Day party.
Yeah.
On the street and your fancy dress.
Yeah.
At some point though, you have I think, is this a VJ party on Kirk Street? Is that the V?
Well,
what was on Kirk Street?
We had, I think it was, we had the VE party on Kirk Street, and then the one in the Grosvenor Rooms, that was the VJ one.
Oh, okay, so
we went two. Yeah, we went to two, because that's when I found my school exercise book where I'd written about going to the Grosvenor Rooms thing there.
Okay, so the VE party that you had on Richard Street.
Yeah.
Did you go to another one the same day, or was?
Oh no, it was a different day.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So and we've got a lovely photo of that street view, and you're on that photo, aren't you?
Yeah,
on the Kirk Street photo. Is that the same day that you
went to the cinema? That would be.
Yeah. So this is where your school report.
So when I was writing about what I did in my summer holiday.
Oh, okay. Summer holidays.
Yeah.
So when you went to I got down here, it was the Roxy.
Yes.
I think you can even remember what you saw somewhere.
Yes, I think Gypsy Wildcat with Maria Montez and John Hall, I think it was.
Yeah. And you enjoyed the picture very much, is that?
Yes. Yeah.
Gypsy Wildcat?
Yes.
Do you remember what that was about, or is that?
No.
Did that have music?
Yes, it would have, yeah.
It says, on this day though, because this is where it says after we visited the Roxy. After we visited the Roxy, all the children had tea in the
Grosvenor Rooms, yeah. And then there was entertainment after that in another part of the building. And that's where we saw Kenneth Macmillan dancing, and Mr. and Mrs. Mackay were telling jokes, I think, and was Mr. Seeger doing some conjuring tricks.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Just to clear things up, Joan, just in case I've missed something here, it says, it was the last week in my holidays that I attended a VJ party, Victory in Japan party, in Kirk Street.
Oh.
So it probably was.
Yeah, VJ.
It must have been VJ, wasn't it? If it was in...
Oh, yes.
Sounds like it, because it says, it starts by saying you was on your holidays, but on VE Day you wasn't on holiday, were you?
No.
You just had a couple of days off school?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, so... well, I would have thought the school one would have been the correct thing.
Right, so it probably was VJ Day.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll put the picture on the video, whatever, and then if
somebody else might remember, but I know some of the boys have passed away who we knew, who sat near us. Yeah.
Sat near you where?
At the VJ at Kirk Street.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll name some of them in another video on that picture. The thing is, I suppose, as well, you know, if you had VE Day celebrations out here, everybody would have had VE celebrations probably on the same day, wouldn't they? Or did they
No, you see, we were in... It was when they got enough things organised, I should say.
Okay, so they could have had them on separate days then, VE days.
Oh yes, because I remember seeing in Retford Times a picture of the children on Caledonian Road and London Road there was.
Oh.
And that's where one of the Bacon family remembers his father telling him, or seeing a picture of his father as a young boy at the party.
What is that in one of the papers?
Yes, in Retford Times. I can remember seeing it.
I've got I can see, or I have seen, and we'll show the one in Caledonian Road.
Yeah. And that's when the Bacons lived at the Mill House. And I can remember Jean Bacon in a pram as a baby.
Really?
Yes, when they lived at the Mill House.
Where's the
Mill House? That was Wilson's Mill that was demolished in 1937, the one near to the railway bridge on London Road. But it's Caledonian Road. That was Wilson's Mill.
Yeah.
And the one on Storecroft Road and part on Caledonian Road, that was Ostler's Mill.
And which mill did you say that the Bacons lived at?
It was Wilson's Mill.
Did they run Wilson's Mill, or did they just live there?
Oh, they lived there because it had been demolished, the mill had.
Ah.
In 1937. I just vaguely remember seeing it before it was demolished.
Right, okay.
When we moved to...
When it got demolished, was it totally demolished, or was there something left of it that you could see?
I'd never seen anything of it since, only the house that's fronting onto Storecroft Road, it was. And it's the back of the house on Caledonian Road, called Grove Lee. It was. I don't know whether it's still got the name on the gate.
Okay, so that's Storecroft, but the Wilson's Mill
was near the railway at Millington's Hill Railway Bridge.
Millington's Hill?
We always called it Millington's Hill.
Which is the railway bridge on London Road?
Yes, yeah.
Which is now Gomersall Close?
Yes, yeah.
Named after Mr. Gomersall?
Harry Gomersall, who was on the railway. But then he had the co-op wet fish shop on Carrogate, he did.
Who did?
Mr. Gomersall, for a time.
Originally,
I think it had been for the blind people who made baskets and things. But that must have been when we first came to Retford.
Oh, so would it have been like...
It was on to the where the Arcadia was, but it was on the pavement.
So
It stood out near to that, is it East Street?
yeah, I think it is East Street, isn't it? And it's
yeah.
It's before you got to the Arcadia. There's a building that stands out a little bit.
Yeah.
Can you? Because if I look for photos of that, I don't think I'll see it as a fish shop that Mr. Gomersall owned.
No.
Can you remember what it was later?
Pardon?
Can you remember what it was later? Can you remember what else it's been? So it wasn't.
Oh yeah, charity shop.
It's been a charity shop. Has it?
Yes, I'd forgotten which charity. But my cousin Margaret was there for a while, years ago. And I don't know. And then you see they demolished the Arcadia, which was a shame because there were loads of shops in there.
Yeah.
And the offices above. Yeah. As well as shops above.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's progress.
Yes.
And then, and Co-op.
And then it's made into a supermarket. Supermarket.
And there's been a Hillard's around.
Yes. And
Wilco's, which is under there.
Yeah.
It says on here that when you was at Mrs. McKay's, which is above Welshman's, you think?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, above Welsh. Called the Grosvenor Rooms.
Yeah.
That you had some trifles and tarts and sandwiches.
Yeah.
Then you saw... So you must have had tables out.
It was a long trestle table, it was.
In the room?
In one of the rooms, and then the next room was where the entertainment was.
Yeah, so did you go from the street party, can you remember, to the cinema to the Grosvenor Room? Is that how it worked?
Yes, yeah.
So there must have been an adult, or more adults, arranging all of that.
Oh, yes.
So when you went in the Grosvenor Room, there must have been adults as well with you, looking after you.
Some of them, yes.
And there's someone else apart from Kenneth that you say. I'm sure there's a couple of ladies that you mentioned.
Oh yes, Jean Bradley and Doreen Ware, I think about to mention.
Yeah, so Jean Bradley
was a dancer.
And she's the one who married
Paul Raymond, yes.
And who's the other lady? Where?
Doreen Ware, Doreen Metcalf, she was when she was married. She, well, I don't know whether she's still with us or not. She lived on Caledonian Road.
Oh, did she?
Yes.
And why?
Next to the Co-op.
And was she a dancer, is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can remember her in the grass skirt. And when they were singing Via Sleepy Lagoon.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, those two ladies, did they both become like you mentioned? I can't find the Groovy Grannies anywhere. I don't know what I'm looking for. So,
no.
Did they both become Groovy Grannies later, or was it just the one, G. Bradley?
Well, both of them.
Really? So they were both dancers together, were they?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, in the group. Yeah. Yeah. And there was Jean Bradley and another girl who used to do acrobatics as well. But I never knew who the other girl was.
Was it that same day? Because it says here that when the party broke up, Mr. Woodward.
Yes.
Who's Mr. Woodward?
He was the school attendance officer one time, and he also had the shop after Taylor's gave the shop up. He had the shop next door to my grandma.
Oh, okay. Okay, and was it the same kind, did it stay the same kind of shop?
Yes, it did, yes.
What was that selling? that shop?
Well, it was groceries.
There's a grocery shop.
And flour, where there was a big wooden chest by the, as you went in on the right-hand side in the shop, this big wooden chest full of flour, which they, of course, had to weigh, same as the butter that they had to weigh. Yeah.
Did you enter the shop from Kirk Street or from...
From Grove Street.
You entered it from Grove Street, so
yes,
the shop door was on Grove Street.
onto Grove Street, yes. The door was on the right-hand side of the shop. And near to the corner of Kirk Street.
Got you. So, yeah, so you've got a big window and then...
Yeah, the door.
And then the door.
Yeah.
And did he change the shop name or did it just stay the same when Mr Woodward took it over?
Well, I mean, we just knew it. The shop was there, you see.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it had a proper name.
And then that night, is it in the evening that you go to a bonfire? Is that the same evening?
Yes, yeah.
On
Spa Common.
Right, okay. So
yeah, that was when it was a bigger common then.
Yeah, okay. Do you think that was like a public bonfire? Was it like...
Yes, yes.
And there was fireworks as well?
Well, yeah.
Was that a big firework? Well, not a big fire, big bonfire?
Fairly, yes it was. Yeah.
I'm asking you to remember a bit more than you put down in writing.
Yeah.
But eventually it died down and everyone had a good time.
Yeah.
And then you all went home.
Yes.
But that was a lovely day for you.
Yes.
And according to this, like we've just said earlier, this was actually VJ Day.
Yeah.
Okay, unless we find out any different.
Different.
It was VJ Day.
According to my school book.
According to your school book. Which you've still got, haven't you?
Yes.
Hold on a minute, because that was dated. We've got a date on this. 29th of the 8th, 1945.
Of August, yeah.
You've got a school book from them talking about this day.
Yeah.
Good grief, that's old, isn't it? And,
yeah.
And that's somewhere in here.
Yeah.
Just carrying on a little bit with 1945.
Yeah.
At school we had been rehearsing songs for...
Thanksgiving week. The war was over. And we used to go to practice at Sir Frederick Milner School because the boys were singing as well. And then other schools must have been practicing because there's quite a few different schools. And there was a photo in the Retford Times of all the children in the market square.
Really?
Yes.
And this is because of the songs that you've been practicing?
Yes. And
when you say in the market square then, so there's lots of kids in the market square going to sing?
Yes.
Is there a stand somewhere, a piano or something?
Yes, there's a piano in the picture, in the photograph. And I think it was our teacher, Mr Baskerby, who played the piano. He'd come back from the war.
Oh, Mr
Baskerby, and he used to play the cello. And he was in the, is it the Majestic? He was in an orchestra, Retford Orchestra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That picture where you're all in the square.
Yeah.
Is that a picture you would look at and think you could see yourself? Or?
Oh yes. Yes. And
is it a picture and there's a big hut in the middle of the square, or not?
No, it was a piano.
Yeah. Was there like a bandstand as well, or not? Can you remember? Because I've got a picture, but
can't remember a bandstand.
But right, okay. Have you got that picture, or is it just a?
Yes, I've got a newspaper somewhere.
Wow. Well, yeah, I might have that picture actually.
And it's been in the Retford Times.
Right, okay. Well, if you're in that picture, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Dear me.
And you know, all our class, top class it was.
And there was lots of kids in the square singing songs?
Yes.
And do you think crowds gathered to listen, or was it just...
Well, yes, and I think that same weekend we sang in St Swithin's Church, just our class. Yeah, we sang Jerusalem and did we sing This England? Anyway, I put down what we sang as I remembered.
Yeah, I've got Jerusalem.
Yeah.
What about this one, Brother James?
Brother James is there. That's Frère Jacques, dormez-vous, Sunny Lementina, bim bam boom. And that's Brother Joseph sleeps so long in English.
Really?
That's all I remember, Brother Joseph sleeps so long.
Right, okay, so Brother James Eyre, is that song? What does...
Yes, that's it.
What?
Frère Jacques, Brother James. We never learnt French, but I mean, that was French, you see. That was the only thing we did that was French, singing that song.
And England, what?
This royal throne of kings, this sceptred isle, this earth of majesty, the seat of Mars, this precious plot, this earth, this realm, this England. I think it's from John of Gaunt's speech in Shakespeare.
Okay, and is that like a classical piece of music?
Yes.
And then it says that there's some... Oh, in the market, is this different when it says the same week we joined other senior classes, including Sir Frederick Milner School, Hallcroft Girls in the Market Square?
No, this is that one.
It's the same one, is it?
Yeah.
So I've got down a few extra songs then, because you've listed a few more. Bluebells of Scotland.
Yeah.
The
Ash Grove.
Shenandoah,
about the River Shenandoah. Oh, Shenandoah.
Shenandoah River.
Yeah.
Rounds go to Joan Clover and...
Glover and tell her I love her. And then others would sing the next words, and then who'd been singing first would sing the beginning of the song, and they'd go all round. Oh, we used to sing Three Blind Mice as well.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was a busy time for you then, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah. Yes, it was.
There was plenty happening.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much everything you put in the wartime Bassetlaw.
Yeah.
But just from a few weeks ago, you've got a tool that you were going to show me that you found.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the pegging needle.
And demonstrate. So what is this, Joan?
It's for pegging a rug.
Right, okay. So you pegged your rugs, didn't you? You made pegged rugs.
Yes, and we used to save sacks, Hessian sacks, and cut them to open them out to make them as big as the hearth and your fireplace. And then we'd cut old clothes into strips about like this. But you got your Hessian and folded it over and then made a hole in the material with the implement, and then opened it up and put the piece of material, and then you pulled it through. I'm afraid it's not coming through, but pulled it through with this, and sometimes it took a bit of getting through. And then you'd all those to fill in the hessian and to make the rug, and it depended on if you'd got enough to do an edging of all one colour, you could do it in a square right all round the edges, and then the others were, you just took potluck what material you'd got left to finish the rug. But it took a while to do. But then there was also, they used to sell rug wool cut into so many lengths, and you got a canvas, piece of canvas, and then you did more or less the same with the wool to make a rug. My auntie, she made one, I remember, a semicircle one. Excuse me. Yeah, that was.
That's. I can't believe you just showed me that and demonstrated that. That is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you all have one of them there? Did you?
Yes, there were 4 of us used to.
So you'd have 4 of them?
Somewhere, yes, but they only seem to be this one I've found.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you'd sit in here and make a rug together?
There. Yeah. Yes.
Your mum, dad?
Yeah, Jean and me, yeah.
Would your dad say, come on, we're going to carry on with the rug and spend an hour, or?
Well, just pick it up to do it.
How many rugs did you make? I mean...
Oh, quite a few over the years, yeah.
Is it, did it equate to like one a year? Did you
yes. Sometimes I think we did make them last a bit longer till we'd got enough old clothes to cut up.
In the past videos we talked about a pension.
Yeah, so which Mr. Manby, who lived at number 12, his mother was given by Newtown Pottery, which was pardon me, part on Caledonian Road. The pottery was.
And how did you end up with that?
Mr. Manby, whose mother had been given it, gave my dad it.
Who is Mr. Manby?
He was a resident of Ritter Street, and he was a engine driver, railway engine driver. And
can you remember what number he lived at, Joan?
Number 12. Yeah, because there's no number 10. No, he lived at number 12. Yeah.
And he was given this pension?
His mother was.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
So
and Dad took it to Bassetlaw Museum, and
yeah, can you remember?
Left it there. It was made of earthenware on the outside, and then a glossy yellowy colour inside the pension, and that people used to make the bread in it.
Do you think your mum would have made bread in it, or was it just an ornament?
I can't remember Mum using it.
When do you think your dad took that to the museum?
Oh, well, I've got a receipt of the date he took it.
Because I've seen it.
Yes,
They've got it out for me so I can have a look at it.
Yes, yeah, but
So I'm guessing it was in the 70s. Do you think
well, Dad died 1981, so it was before that.
so it was before he died, I know it. And he knew it was of
Yes.
historical value.
Yeah, and also, years later, I took a pair of skating boots which Mum had got. I don't know whether they were hers or whether she bought them at an auction sale. But they're leather, creamy coloured leather skating boots, ladies' skating boots. And I think it says on the blades, it's name of what part of the skating there's. I think it's something like Salco or something.
Really?
Yes, if I remember.
Are we
right.
talking about roller skates?
No,
Oh,
ice skates.
your mum had some ice skates
Yes,
that you took
skating boots.
skating
The
boots.
boots with, I think they got laces up.
So where do you think your mum would have skated?
Oh, and this told me. She told me they used to skate on Babbitt Lake, and one winter when the ice was on canal for quite a while, they skated from Retford to Worktop on the canal.
Really?
Yes.
Just no, not just your mum, but your mum and
Mum and Dad, yeah. Yeah, because they've known each other since they were young children, yeah.
your mum and dad skated from Retford to Worktop on the canal.
Yes.
And do you think they were married then, or was it?
No, it was before they were married, I should say. Because they married 1929, 5th of August at St Swithin's.
1929. Wow. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so they had their 50th wedding anniversary, yeah. And the golden wedding, and Jean made 2 lovely fruit cakes and iced them. And we had quite a few people come during that week of the 50th year. And I've got photos of quite a few people who came.
Really?
Yes, but we haven't come across them yet.
No, we haven't come across them. There's lots of photos in here somewhere
Yeah.
that we're looking for.
Yeah.
And the 50th wedding anniversary, was that here in this house?
Yes. Yes.
Did they have a party somewhere else, or was it just?
No, it was out in the garden one day, I remember, when we took photos, yeah. Yeah.
So if they were married in
5th of August 1929.
29, and you're saying that 50 years later,
yeah,
which was about someone 1980 maybe,
yeah.
somewhere near
I bet, yeah.
79, 80.
Yeah.
If I've done my maths right there. There was a party here,
Yeah.
and lots of people came.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you mean like from the street or from?
Yes, and friends and family, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, but that was a lovely day.
It was, yes, sun was shining, yeah.
It's
And the photo there stood on next door's lawn, because we'd got rose trees and trees, etc. There wasn't room to accommodate everybody in our garden, really.
oh, and there's photos of that day.
Yeah.
I don't think for this video we'll have them photos by then, but I'll ask Amy if she can have a look.
Yeah.
That's when you say that they ice skated from So your dad might have had some ice skates as well, unless he just went.
Yes, he did, because he skated when we was sliding on the ice in later years, he did, when it was a bad winter in 1940. Would it be 40, 41? But I know winter was, we had bad winter at Christmas.
And you went on the canal?
Yes, and we were just sliding, but Dad had got some metal skates fixed to his shoes or his boots, whatever he was wearing.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you remember whereabouts on the canal that would have been?
Oh, we were near Grove Street Bridge, near the mill there.
Oh yeah. On Gashouse Bridge.
Yes, yeah.
Has that always been called Gashouse Bridge?
Yes, we've always known it as Gasworks Bridge.
Ah, right, okay, and that's where you were skating.
Yeah.
So you'd walk.
We were sliding, just sliding along, yeah. And Dad was on his skates.
And can you remember if you were alone or whether there was?
Oh, there were loads of other people, yes. There was.
I bet there's no photos of that.
No. But there is an old photo of years ago. It was when my dad and uncle were younger, by the mill, of a boat trip. And the Grandma Elston, I don't know whether she fell in or whether Uncle Bob had fallen in as a young boy. But I know Dad said he was walking up Gasworks Bridge and there was his mother coming dripping wet.
Really?
Up the bridge, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was a boat, a boat trip, and something had happened with putting a younger son in the barge, you see.
And she fell in?
Yes.
So that's your dad's mum fell in the canal?
Yeah.
Wow. Where did your dad grow up? Where was it? What was his?
Well, they lived on Hatfield Street. I'm not sure whether he was born there or not. But he was born 31st of December 1903. But he wasn't registered till 1904. He's on 1904 registered. So that's a bit confusing, really.
Ah.
You see, it was compulsory registration, 1837 it started.
So they lived on Hatfield Street?
Yeah.
What was his mum and dad called, do you know?
Yes, Harry Elston.
Was his dad?
Yes, and he was Harry. So we always call Harry, the granddad one, Harry Elston Senior. And she was Flora Jane Parkinson.
Oh, right, before.
Yes, yeah. And it was her brother-in-law's that we went to the week war broke out at Wilmslow.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So Harry Senior Elston, what was his job? What was?
He was, he had a horse and dray, and he delivered parcels, railway parcels. He was employed by the railway. Well, I assume it was LNER then.
Is that who we've got a picture of?
Oh, yes, with the horse and dray, yes.
What's a dray?
It's the cart that all the goods were on.
Oh, they called it a dray.
D-R-A-Y. Not D-R-E-Y, which is for squirrels, the home of squirrels.
Wow. Horse and dray.
Yeah.
And did I mean, who was his dad? You know, can you go further back?
His father was Robert,
Really?
yes, and his father was William.
Oh my goodness, that's going back some.
He was born 1802, and were trying for years to find out where he was born, and eventually an adopted cousin had been in touch with the Mormon register people and found out he was born at Southall.
Oh, okay. So your dad was called
Harry.
Harry Elston.
Yeah, Junior.
His dad was called Harry Elston. He's the one with the horse.
Yes,
delivering
that's right.
parcels.
Yeah.
And then you can go, you know, two more before that.
Yes.
So Harry Elston with the horse.
Yeah.
Do you know what his wife was called?
Yes, it was Flora Jane Parkinson she was.
Right, okay.
She was married. Yeah.
And they lived on Hatfield Street.
Yes.
Which is, where's Hatfield Street?
It's, you go down Grove Lane over the Canal Bridge, and on your right there's Nelson Street. Go further down, and then it's Hatfield Street.
And they lived on there.
Yeah.
Is that the same street that, did you say you had some college court?
It's Short End.
Short-End.
Short End at Mr Hill, who at one time had been school attendance officer, but he'd retired, and he was at night school when we first started learning shorthand, and then he was finishing there, and he asked if Jean and I would like to go privately. So Dad paid for us to go to shorthand lessons.
To his house?
Yeah, but we had the lessons in the shed at the bottom of the garden, and in the winter he had a little wooden stove in there, and it was lovely and cosy in there, yeah. And we sat at a desk either side and Mr Hill in the middle, and he used to give us tests in shorthand.
But that was on Hatfield Street, was it?
Yes.
Do you know where your granddad lived
Oh,
on?
Humber Street. Sorry, that was Humber Street, where Mr Hill lived.
Oh, okay, Humber Street.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hatfield, yeah, okay, so do you know whereabouts on Hatfield your granddad lived?
I think it was number 20.
Number 20?
And next to Mr Johnson's bungalow it was. And then there was Fox's next door, and then Mr and Mrs Squires and the son Wilfred. And then it was the Sir Frederick Milner School gates then. You could get two ways into the school.
Yeah, that's the back way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sir Fred.
Yeah.
You know your dad and the railway?
Yeah.
Did your dad start on the railway from when he left school?
Yes. So, yes, he was the porter.
Would that have been...
to begin with, and then a shunter, then a goods guard, and finally a passenger guard.
And did his career on the railway, did that actually start at Kiverton, or did he start in...
He started at Worksop, I should say, when we were born at Worksop.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, when he was before he left school, he was an errand boy at Melia's grocer's shop, and then another part of his life he was what he called ladder boy for Len Mellors, the barber. And I think he was on either Exchange Street, or I may be wrong, it might have been.
What was the barber called?
Len Mellors, Mellors.
Okay.
But whether it's on Grove Street or Exchange Street, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
But, the barber's shop was Mr. Haig, wasn't it, on Grove Street?
Yeah.
So whether it was those premises,
Yeah.
it's just not quite clear to me. It's not coming quite clear which one it was.
Yeah. Okay. So your dad and your mum, you say that they knew each other's children?
Yes. Yeah.
Because your mum lived on Grove Street, obviously.
But before that, they lived at Gringley Villa Farm Cottage, which is down Grove Lane, over near the railway.
Oh, right, okay. Is that still there?
Well, Gringley Villa is, I think, but I don't know about the cottage, whether that would be. But Mum said, they had cows. She used to ride on the cows' backs as a girl, yes. And then, you see, they moved after her father was killed in First World War on 27th of May 1918.
So,
and there's no known grave.
So your mum lived at, what did you say?
Gringley Villa Cottage.
What is Gringley Villa? Is there a Gringley Villa and a Gringley Villa Cottage then?
Oh, there must have been, yes. And they must have rented the cottage, I should say.
And it was it a bit of a farm as well then?
Yes, because they had cows and they had a milk business. But then after he was killed, my grandma still carried on with the milk delivery business. And Ward's, one of the sons of Ward's at Grove, used to deliver milk to her in a big churn. I remember him coming in the morning while we were, we'd gone, stopped off at my grandma's on the way to school, and they very often came with Dick or Tim Ward delivered milk, and she went round twice a day delivering milk in the town, at Westfields mainly.
Was your mum maiden name, she was Allen?
Yes.
And how, do you think your mum and dad went to the same sort of primary school or at the same time? Were they the same age or was there a big difference?
Dad was born 1903, Mum 1907.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 years.
Do you think they might have gone to the same school?
Well, Mum went to the high school eventually.
Yeah.
And she used to talk about a Miss Bellamy round Exchange Street area. Whether that was a school teacher, but whether it was a private school or what, I don't know, but it was always Miss Bellamy she talked about. And I've got a photograph of all the girls' high school, and it's one with, all the school on. But Mum wasn't at school that day, photo was taken. But also on it, there's me aunt and uncle, the twins, and Auntie Dahlia as little children. It's in the high school grounds. So Well, they were, and I think I took the photo to Bassetlaw Museum. They might have
Really?
a copy of it, yes.
Oh wow! Do you think? Will you have a copy here or not?
Yeah, yes.
So
I
you've
would
got
have the original.
You've got the original.
Yes, somewhere, but I haven't seen it lately.
So, right, okay. So if I try and if that's on their website, well, that what year might the photo? What year-ish would that photograph have been taken?
Well, Auntie Bessie and Clara were born 1913. There could be about 4 or 5 on the photo.
So probably somewhere before 1920.
Yes, yeah.
And what was it a picture of?
All the children at the high school.
And where was the high school?
Oh, it was off Cobwell Road there, and I think it's been demolished.
Yeah, it has. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's that one, is
And
it?
then there were the Tin Tabernacle, as they called it, the Catholic Church was the Tin Tabernacle.
Yeah. Did you ever go there?
No.
No. You
No.
just know it were there.
Yeah.
So, So your mum was called. What's your mum's name?
Winifred Edith Allen, she
Allen.
was. Yeah.
And she was the daughter of.
Mary May Allen, formerly. Oh, excuse me. Allwood, formerly Allwood.
Okay, so Mary May Allen.
Yeah, formerly Allwood, married George William Allen, but he was always known as William. And he's just named William on Retford War Memorial.
So he's on the War
Memorial
for dying in World War One.
Yes, and also on the memorial at a place called Soissons in France.
Do you just know that, or have you seen that?
I've seen pictures of it because my cousin and her son used to go on the war tours, First World War tours. They've been there and seen the memorial where his name is at Soissons. Yeah.
So we've got Mary Jane Allen.
Mary May.
Mary May Allen,
Yeah.
and her husband was.
George William Allen.
Are they the pair that had 23 children?
No, Mary May was one of the 23.
Really?
Yeah, the next generation, yes. She was.
And did you know, as a child, did you know the 23? Did you?
We knew some of them, yes. Used to go and visit great-grandma when they lived at Mill House at Lowndes. I remember going there.
Oh, okay. So you.
And then.
You knew your great grandma.
Yes, and Grandad, because we're on the photo with them. They had the diamond wedding, and that was reported in the Retford Times. And I've got that report somewhere.
Have you got? Was
it was a big. It was a big report because great granddad was interviewed by someone from the Times office, and there's all sort of various estates. It's talking about various estates where he was a gamekeeper. So.
And that's your great granddad.
Yes.
And his name
is Samuel Allwood.
Samuel Allwood.
Yeah.
And
he had a son called Samuel among the 23 to complicate matters.
So Samuel Allwood was married to
Rebecca Charlton.
Right. So Samuel and Rebecca Allwood.
Yeah.
Do you know where they lived?
Well, they lived at Lowndes.
But they lived at Lowndes. Yeah.
Yes, at Mill House at the time. And later on, I went with Auntie Bessie to see Great Grandma after I can't remember what year Great Granddad died, but she went to live with a daughter who we knew as Auntie Vinnie. I don't know what that stood for, but there was some unusual names for the girls. They'd all got two names: Almira Verley, Celestine Shirley, Ishberger Jenny, Roxana Dahlia, Mary May, my grandmother. That was an easy one to remember. But they're all known by the second names, never the first names.
Oh, like Dahlia?
Yes, Roxana, yes, Dahlia.
Did you call her Auntie Dahlia?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, and the people that you've just mentioned, they are
Yeah, there
brothers
was
and sisters
Auntie Vinnie, Auntie Ginny, Auntie Verley.
Really?
Yes.
But they were your grandma's sisters?
Sisters, yes.
And were they all Retford people? They all lived
No,
in
they
town?
were, well, there was one who was at Worksop. I think it's something to do with barges on the canal. Or he was a lock keeper, I think it said. This was telling you who was alive then in the paper and what their occupations were.
Really?
Yeah, so it was a full page, seemed to be.
So there was 23 children?
That said, lived to be dressed.
Yes.
So whether some died at
So
birth.
it could have been more.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, okay. And how many of the 23 would you have come into contact with? Just a few of them? Or?
Just a few of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they were all brothers and sisters of your...
grandma there, yes.
Of your grandma?
Yes. Of Grandma Mary May.
And how many children did your grandma...
She had 4. There was Mum Winifred Edith, and then Roxana Dahlia, and Bessie May Allen, and William Harold Allen. He was also known as Harold. Yeah.
Was Roxana Dahlia... Did you say she was also...
Another generation.
She was one of the 23 as well?
Well, yeah.
Roxana Dahlia was one of the 23?
Yes, and my grandpa had Roxana Dahlia.
Had a Roxana Dahlia.
Yeah. And Mum's named after one of my grandma's sisters, Winifred Edith Allen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it gets a bit confusing when they've all got the same name.
Yeah, but then members of the 23, they're kind of passed on, aren't they? Another generation, people have started naming them.
Yeah.
There was 23... Well, what about the 4 then? So your grandma has 4 children.
Yeah.
One of them's your mum.
Yeah.
And but the other 3, do they live in Retford? Do they stay in Retford?
No, my Auntie Dahlia, when she married, moved to Worksop. She married George Goddard.
George?
Goddard.
Goddard?
Yeah.
What about the other?
And Uncle Harold, he married Betsy Matilda Hunter, and he was called up in the Air Force. He was in the Air Force during the war, and then he lived at Clayworth.
Is there another one?
Auntie Dahlia, Roxana Dahlia.
What happened with...
Well, she moved to Worksop and used to travel every day to come to a shop on Grove Street, the hairdresser, ladies' hairdressers, the one-room lock-up shop.
The what, sorry?
The lock-up shop, it's called, as it was called.
An hairdresser's called the lock-up shop?
No, but that was the term for when it was only one sort of person had it, a lock-up shop.
Oh, okay.
Something that
Okay. So, sorry, I've got that. This is the one on Grove Street next to you.
near me, next to the garage.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Did she do that all her life, Daly? Was she always a hairdresser, or did she?
No, when a daughter was born, she retired and that, and lived at Rhodesia in Worksop.
Oh,
Near
okay.
Worksop.
So, just to be clear, then, your grandma was one of
23 lived to be dressed.
and your grandma had 4 children.
Yes.
Who it was Dahlia,
Yeah.
who was called
Roxana Dahlia, but
Okay.
known as Dahlia.
and lived at Worksop,
Yeah.
travelled to Retford,
Yeah.
and was a hairdresser.
So, yeah.
And then there's another. Who's next?
Bessie May.
Bessie May.
Yeah, that's the one. She worked at Welshman's, and also Miss Bess, the ladies' underwear shop next to Percy Law's. It said Best. She was called Miss Best, but it was a Mrs. Esom who owned the shop then.
Okay. But that was Carrogate.
Yeah, and then she was, I suppose, conscripted to the Air Ministry at Babbitt. She worked there, and we never knew what she did.
And that's your.
Auntie Betty May.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
So there was an air ministry at Babworth.
Yes.
Okay, I'll come back to that in a minute.
Yeah.
And then there's your mum then.
Yeah. Well, when she was a girl, she worked at Curry's. But then when she married, and then adults, she
Retired.
Retired at
As in
home.
looked after you, didn't she?
Yeah.
And then there's a brother, is there?
Yes, Harold William, yes. And he was in the Air Force. And then when his mum retired from delivering milk, he took it over and he had a pony and trap to deliver the milk, whereas my grandma had pushed this cart.
He became a milkman. Her son.
Yeah, he had a farm at Clayworth.
Okay.
He lived at Rose Cottage, Clayworth. And he had, tenancy, I suppose, from the Laycocks, I should think.
So, those 4,
Yeah.
obviously you've got an uncle and a mum and 2 aunties.
Yeah.
Did they have children?
Yes, Auntie Dahlia had cousin Margaret, and we were 13 years old when Margaret was born, and I'm afraid she's very forgetful.
Who's forgetful?
Cousin Margaret.
Is she still alive?
Yes.
Did
And
she
her
have?
son looks after her.
Okay.
Gave up his job to look after her. And then Auntie Bessie had a son, David, but sadly he passed away. He'd been working at the power station when they were building it, and I think he got problems with asbestos.
What?
And he lived in Wales. He'd moved to Wales to Portmaddock, and that's where he sadly died. Yeah.
What was his surname?
Allen, David Allen.
So okay.
Yeah.
And then the brother, what was?
Harold William, he was the farmer and
Did he have children?
delivered milk. No.
Oh, okay. So out of those 4
Yeah.
sons and daughters of your grandma,
Yeah.
only... Right, so 2 of the ladies had children.
And, yeah.
And they had a son each. David and...
No, that the son and the daughter, Margaret.
Oh, yeah,
and
okay.
Daly had Margaret.
Yes, okay, so it's Margaret whose
Daly.
son looks after Margaret.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
yes.
so it's that, so...
She married and had a son, Craig.
And out of all of those 4, are you the only one that... trying to think where we are now, so...
Which generation?
Yeah. But none of them alive. Those, your mum, of course, your mum and dad and sisters and brothers not alive.
No.
What about David and Margaret? Are they alive?
Margaret is.
David died of asbestosis. So Margaret's still alive, is she?
Yes,
and her son looks after her.
Yes,
oh,
carers, yeah.
Oh, that's...
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. I kind of grasped that a little bit now.
Yeah.
Right, I do want to ask this week.
Yes, right, okay.
This is a lovely picture, and I was thinking, can I even, is it appropriate to ask about these children on here? But this is a picture taken in 1997.
Yeah.
So these are going to be, well, they're not even, so these aren't kids anymore. So I don't know what's happening on this picture, Joan. What is this a picture of?
Oh, this is me. I got it after the publication of Life in Wartime Bassetlaw. The museum said that Rambis School were doing a project on the Second World War, and they'd been reading what I'd written, and would have liked to go to the school, you see, and somebody would pick me up, and so I did. I went, and the children, were asking me all sorts of questions, etc. And some of them dressed up in wartime costumes and things. And I've got all I wrote all the names on the back.
Yeah, can you remember the names without me reading them? Or
No, I'm afraid I can't. There was somebody McCluskey, I remember. That's one name I remember.
Right, okay. Yeah, I don't know whether I can... I'm not going to read the names out, I don't think.
No.
On here, because I don't know whether they'd be upset if they saw the video. I don't think they would. I think they'd love it, really.
It was in the Retford Trader or the other paper that we used to get.
So on this picture, there's 4 children.
Yes.
Was there quite a lot asking you, or was it just these 4?
Oh, there was a whole class. There was a whole class there.
Oh,
but they
right.
were the only ones who dressed up, you see, so that's why they had the picture taken.
Oh, I see. So.
And I happened to be on that one.
So you've got, you've got a soldier. I'm not sure. The girls just look like they're dressed up as women from the war era, and then you've got a young lad at the back.
Yeah.
Who's dressed up from the war era. That young lady there, she looks like she's got plungers.
Yes, that's what she's got, yeah.
And it looks like memorabilia down the side.
Yeah.
Is there something you brought in?
Yeah,
or?
there was... Yeah, I think I must have taken ration books and things like that to show them.
Oh, so you took some stuff?
Yes, I think I did. Yeah.
Would you have retired by then, or have you got a day off work or something?
Yes, I would have. No, I would have. I retired 1989.
Really?
Well, I wasn't quite 60. I have to look after Mum. 28th of July 1989.
And you retired?
Then, yes.
I've got, I'm just looking at the time, we're running out of time. But I've got a question.
Yeah.
It's a little bit linked to what we've talked about before already. Do you know who Thomas Crapper is?
Yes, to do with toilets.
So he's probably invented the system or something like that.
Bassetlaw who rescued people who sort of proper drainage, etc. Didn't they, Bassetlaw?
Oh, really?
Somebody called Bassetlaw, yeah.
He did what, did you say?
Well, I think it was to do with the drainage and things, because people were getting cholera because of that. Yeah. And I think it's something to do with the drainage.
Yes, it's probably the U-bend. Somebody invented the U-bend, and that kind of changed everything, because you could get rid of stuff and it not come back on you.
Yeah.
But just quickly, Joe, because we've had a bit of a laugh about toilets in the past, but you can remember what toilets were like before there were toilets, because you had an auntie.
I had a wooden seat with a hole. But one lady who we used to go, when we went to any socials at Clayworth, we used to stay there the night, and their toilet was a two-seater, a wooden two-seater.
Really?
With the two holes in it.
And that wasn't it, that was outside, wasn't it?
Yeah, oh yes, out in the garden, yeah.
Did you go to the toilet?
Yes.
You actually went to the toilet?
It needs must.
So you went to the toilet, but you didn't go as you and your sister?
We didn't go together, no, at the same time.
But you could have done.
Yes, we could. Yeah.
But
that's the only two-seater we ever came across in those days.
Yeah, but I mean, you won't come across it any now, would you?
No.
This is in a museum.
Yeah.
But so you can remember with your own eyes, seeing a piece of wood with two holes in, and that was your toilet. That was a toilet.
Yes, in the garden.
And then was there some means of washing stuff away, or did you just do it and leave it?
You just do it. That was it. No, there's nothing. Right. And I can't remember seeing any disinfectant or anything. So it was, oh dear.
Joan, that's what... Go on, carry on.
It was a bit of, horrible, really. But, I mean, that's all you'd got, so that was it.
So, we've run out of time. Yeah. I think we might start on this point next time, because I've got something more to ask you about toilets.
Yeah.
But I might close this video with my favourite bit of music, that Chopin.
Yeah, it's all lovely.
All right,
Yeah.
Anyway, it's lovely to see you today, Joe.
Yeah, thank you very much.